Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Indie Credible Podcast. We're jumping and jiving. This is episode 45. One of your hosts, Xander Scullion, and join with me is Jeffrey Wittenhagen. What's up, Jeff?
I don't know if I'm jumping or jiving. I can't do any spirit fingers. None of that shit's happening, man. Yeah. Yeah, it was a crazy night last night because we were gonna record and then wasn't in the mood because the kid decided to act up like a moody teenager. But I was mentioning, and we didn't talk about it yet, off episode, but I was I was like, let me just play some Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I booted up on the Legion Go, all the things, and I'm playing it, and it's running okay, but I took down a lot of the settings, and I put it at like 30 frames a second to stop it and all this, and I had it over because you can do like a benchmark testing on Grand Theft Auto 5 enhanced on PC,
Hmm.
and it was at like 50 frames a second, so cool. Put it down, playing it. The wife comes down because she's like Grand Theft Auto online, like a mob boss and shit. So she's showing me like where stuff is, having a good
Yeah.
time, and then it just like freezes.
Hmm.
Windows decided to push and update the Legion Go
Uh,
without me clicking a button on his fucking own in the middle of a goddamn game. And so I like rebooted the computer. All this shit took forever. All the updates, it did like a bunch of updates, all this garbage, which I hate doing. Because and then I go to start it up and it's running at 4 frames a second. So
oh,
whatever
my.
Windows did, it jacked it up, or I had to wait for my entire PC to ramp back up for like 30 minutes or something to get all the processor. I don't know what the hell is going on. So then it just ruined playing Grand Theft Auto last night. So I'm like, I that's why I prefer console gaming over to PC for modern, because it's
Yeah.
just like it's such a damn slog.
Yeah.
And I don't have you have a Legion Go, so it's a gaming PC, but not like not crazy setup box gaming PC. So I figured it was enough to run Grand Theft Auto 5. Apparently not. A lot of the newer Xbox stuff that's on the Game Pass runs sluggish too. So a lot of the modern shit. So
I'm one.
it's
I'm wondering if it has anything to do because aren't they making a new Legion Go? Like they're making a new handheld?
hmm
Like I, I'm
yeah.
wo- I'm wondering if they're like doing like you don't think they're doing like updates to slog the older model, do you?
Maybe. I don't think maybe not to
Yeah.
slog it, but maybe they're adding oh shit. Maybe they're adding features, that slogged it down.
Because I did notice I went on my Switch a couple of weeks ago, and this is after the Switch 2 came out, and it had like an update, and I updated it, and I went to the eShop, and the eShop, I mean, of course the Nintendo eShop's like notorious for being kind of like janky, but oh my God, man, I feel like I was watching like a dial-up website from like 2000 and watching it load up, and I'm like, are they like messing up the previous to kind of like because I think of Apple because Apple does it. Apple will like
Yeah.
purposely just make your shit not work so you have to upgrade to the Apple whatever.
Uh,
So yeah, that kind of
nah.
sucks.
I think it's more so that they add all the stuff for the cross compatibility and then it
Hmm.
slogs down the old one because it's not meant to run the optimizations. But
Yeah.
it may be that it might just because I thought it was a Windows update. And then I watched my Legion Go also update. And but the thing was is before that, I had InDesign open because I was working on 4 books. I had Plex running, Plex Amp running, my Chrome with like 20 tabs open, and it was running at 50, 60 frames a second. It was fine.
Yeah.
Like all that shit was running, all the resources, and it was fine. And then I had nothing running on my damn PC just with Grand Theft Auto because I didn't open back everything back up when it automatically closed everything on me. And it was running like crap. And I'm like, what the hell?
Damn. So
I
needless,
I don't know.
I was like, needless to say, you didn't get to run over people.
No, I didn't get to do any of that. And then I think that the wife and I played Super Mario Party on
Oh,
Switch. We bought that
nice.
on. That was fun as it is, a cheating ass computer and all that. And no, it's I don't like really playing Mario Party games unless it's with people, and I don't usually play on with people a lot because anytime I'm hanging out, we're having a good time and drinking or something. We're not playing video
Yeah.
games. So the wife and I played some Mario Party, and then I
Yeah.
ended the night with some Bonanza.
Hell
So
yeah.
I think you were playing like streaming something, right?
Yeah, I did a little bit of streaming earlier this week, and I played Bakaru, which it's like a spiritual successor to Mystical Ninja. It's a fun game. It's really good. I really like the mechanics that he has with the two drumsticks. You use the shoulder buttons. Power-ups are really cool. It's a fun game to stream. Like it's a really good 3D platformer. But it was on sale
Well,
on Steam. I had to pick it up.
I remember when that thing 2 years ago was released on Switch, physically
Mhm.
Japanese only. This is before localization was announced, and I actually have the Japanese version of Bakaru, like
Um,
physically on Switch from back in the day, because I was like, oh, this is a badass game. It's Namco, so I know it's good quality, it's cute. But I always thought that they dropped the damn ball by not working with the Nyko company and having the damn controller to hit the drums.
that would have
Have a
been
dr-
cool.
I have the I think it's Taito though, so it's Taito Namco. But I have the Drum Master game. I'm
Yeah, that would have been
like
cool.
'cause there's a little D-pad on it and all the shit, and the
Yeah.
analog stick on the drums. But yeah, it's a that's a fun ass game. I haven't played it in probably 2 years either, and I don't have the localization. I don't think so.
Yeah, you don't really need it though, because I'll be honest. I mean, the story you're playing as like a Tanuki, like it turns into a human. You're trying to save a clan, blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean the game the great thing is this is the gameplay because the different abilities you unlock and I've been kind of wanting to play like a really good 3D platformer because I'm gearing up for my Switch 2 purchase because I want to play Bonanza really bad, which you've
Yeah.
been playing. Been wanting to play that, so I was just kind of like, oh, I want to play something kind of cool and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, oh yeah.
You know what's weird is like I played Bonanza last night, and this was after a lot of tequila. Um, and uh, and I hadn't played it in weeks, maybe a month or so. And
Mhm.
the other thing I did before that was I went to Switch Online and I saw all the new games because they released Mario Paint for Switch too. So and you got the
Yeah.
mouse.
It's,
So
it's, and on a side note, I believe it's Mario Paint, but there's like a new angry video game nerd with Guar playing Mario Paint. I believe I know Guar's
probably,
on their new video, and I'm like, so crazy.
yeah, wild. But I did notice, like, man, the based on the game selection, I think the Genesis is probably the best one on the damn Nintendo Switch Online.
That's
Like,
funny. That's
like it's
ironic.
wild. Well, I mean, just the game selection's great, and they
Yeah.
they just added more stuff to it, and like eSWAT's in there, and Panic and Funkatron. It might just be on bias too, because I just released the Genesis book out of it's the newest one out of the freshest one from NES and Super Nintendo and everything. But like, yeah, it's
No,
freaking
I,
awesome.
I feel like you're right about that though. I mean, when I think about it in hindsight, I mean, because I think about the Genesis games and I think about like the NES and the NES and Super Nintendo Switch Online, like there's some weird choices on there. There's some games on there like, oh well, okay, I'll try it out. But Genesis, I feel like it's a lot more less filler, more hitters for the Genesis collection on that
Yeah,
side.
yeah. I mean, because there's plenty of fillers in that library, and they're just not on the online.
Yep,
But I think before we get too far off topic, we do have to do the little Kyle's trials.
we do.
And and I have a million things this week. So what I'll do is I'll pick a couple. So should I show is at the end I'm gonna show a gaming thing. But should I show Master of the Universe, Star Wars, or Transformers?
I'm feeling some Transformers. I want to see some robots.
Transformers.
Oh
So
yeah.
these are wild. It's really freaking crazy. They are boxed Transformers. Check these out.
Oh,
So this is Thrust, and this one right here, you got the Autobot Spy Mirage,
that's so
and
cool.
and I got about six of these down here. What's crazy about these though? These are 100% a freaking bootleg. Like, look at
What?
the stats. Look at the stats.
Oh
Like, I
wow.
don't know where Kyle got these. We could not find them online. I don't know where the hell they are, but they're all like brand new looking. This one says Cianis or something on the actual side. I don't know what the hell these are, but these, I mean, he has a lot of the little a lot of the Decepticon fighter jets, like the
Yeah.
classic ones, like Thrust and Ramjet and a lot of the classics. But if you scan the barcodes, they don't go anywhere. They're fake. It's like it's classic, dude.
Wow.
And I'm like, how the hell did like? Cause some of the stuff that Kyle has is all old school.
Yeah.
These are 100% new bootlegs. And
Yeah.
I only noticed and went down the rabbit hole because I think it's this one. It's for Skywarp, the image is like blurry on the front.
Ah.
And I'm like, why the hell is the image blurry? And this one's not like fucked up. Then the Autobot one was like fucking nasty looking. I was like, what the hell? Like hilarious.
But
He
you never.
must have gotten them recently on eBay or something within the last 3, 4 years.
Yeah, and I don't know too much about Transformers like collectibles, but sometimes like bootleg stuff goes in value too. Like sometimes it's like,
Exactly.
that might be like some weird like reissue of some sort of like, oh, we were involved with this guy from the Transformers toy line, blah blah blah. And, I mean, there's no telling. There's no telling, but that's so
Yeah.
cool. I
Like could be
I
like
like that.
fan reproductions is what you're saying. Like a
Yeah.
100% it could have been. And it's wild because he has like all the newer like re-released ones that you would see at Target and Walmart in the last like maybe like 3, 4, 5 years ago. He has like with boxes of those too. But these ones, I because I want the retro shit. Like I want the ones that look old school, and I don't care if it's a re-release of an old school, but like he had
Yeah.
all these. I'm like, hell yeah! And then I looked at the one, I'm like, oh, this is looking weird.
It
But
sounds like a good story. That's what it
oh
sounds
yeah,
like.
oh yeah. And then the one gaming one that I thought was interesting because we come across the games a lot. This one I could not find this version of it because he had all the big box PC Dooms, Duke Nukem's, like and all the expansion packs, including really obscure ones and stuff. But in there was this diskette, and it's this game right here, and it's House of Horrors.
Oh.
And so Hugo's House of Horrors is online. There's tons of them on eBay, but not just House of Horrors and not the Micro Star version. And so I could not find it. So it might be an undumped version of or something that Kyle had for with a PC or got it in a magazine or something. I don't know. But it's I can't find it online. And so, at least not for sale. I haven't looked to see if
Mm.
there's a ROM online. But either way, Hugo's House of Horrors, like, classic little point click game. It's like awesome one from back in the day. So yeah, it's a wild thing though. So I like when I see that kind of shit and I'm like, ooh, is it undumped? Let me find out. I mean, because Hugo's House of Horrors isn't undumped. It's normal. But
Yeah.
maybe that's not Hugo's House of Horrors. Maybe it's a different game called House of Horrors. That's something else.
Yeah, especially in the old school like PC gaming days. It was like Wild Wild West, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Well, and it's like there's a free catalog that comes from MicroStar, and MicroStar wasn't involved with Hugo's House of Horrors, so that's the interesting thing. So that's where
Mm.
it's like, who's to say that they don't have the same name and they're part of a different series? And I think that'd be crazy.
I mean,
Yeah,
we found that with some of the Steam games that we've done before, where there's like more than one game being called something. And House of Horrors is a very like it sounds generic now, like it probably wasn't generic back then when it came out and
exactly.
floppy.
Yeah, and
But
it's not this week, but it might be in 2 or 3 more weeks where I found a game that's literally based off of a another one that's based off of a classic series. Because I got like 4 or 5 weeks of freaking content for new and noteworthy. It's insane. Like there's so many indie games this year.
oh yeah,
I've
and
been I've been skipping hundreds.
I bet, I bet. And we had like a really cool. Did you want to dive into the discussion we saw on our Discord?
Yeah, I think so. It is an interesting one. I don't know a lot of the context. Do you have the context for this, Xander?
Well, it seems to be like Unity is pushing out a beta of like an AI tool to help their subscribers on the Unity project,
Yeah,
help with game development, pretty much, like help with coding and stuff, like kind of help with the way their interface is and stuff like that. But it raises a lot of concerns for devs because it's AI. And a lot of people are scared that it's going to take away the creativity. Also, AI uses a lot of previous work that's been known to do that, so that also raises up a brow on that. The way I feel like about AI, I don't feel like AI is going anywhere. Like AI is here.
Yeah.
But I think of AI the way I think about probably the way musicians thought about synthesizers back in the 80s. When synthesizers first came out, like people were like, "Oh, you're not a real musician if you use a synthesizer." And but the thing was it caused a creative renaissance. Like we wouldn't have had, like things, for example, like the grudge movement, where you had like more raw rock bands that started coming out in the 90s if you didn't have the fluff of the synthesizers of the 80s. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into an
Mm.
AI era where things are going to start looking really cookie cutter. Like prepare for that, but there's going to be that ceiling that gets dismantled from the creativity because people are going to start pushing out more creative ways to stand out from AI. So that's going to be really interesting.
Mm.
So, but I
Well,
think it's a great tool though.
I think the main difference between your analogy, though, is that with synths and everything, you had people that had to program and manipulate and
Hmm.
use either a synthesizer or computer-based synth wave, which is another thing where you just program the computers too.
Hmm.
And but that required human brain power, whereas the AI thing is
Hmm.
estimating and taking from other things. So, like for me, it's always been I don't mind AI for use for processes and procedures that are mundane, but when it comes to like creative works, which whether it be creating music, pictures, games, music, whatever, I feel like, it's not okay to use in
Hmm.
totality without putting your brain to it after. So what it
Right.
needs to do is you could use the generate stuff, but then you need to modify. It's like plagiarism, basically. Like
Yeah.
don't like take somebody else's paper and publish it. Don't take AI. AI is written by somebody else. It's written by the computer. Don't
Yeah.
take that AI paper and just use it. You have to put your brain power to it. And I think that's where there's potential for Renaissance is that those that are more creative will take what is generated, be able to make something truly cool from it.
Yeah.
But like you said, cookie cutter shit, people are just gonna take what it is and push it forward. They're
I
gonna take
mean,
it and publish it because it
I
looks good.
Yeah, I see it. I mean, I see it now, even when I was at work and I was in down the beer aisle and I saw some new local beer that was coming out and I looked at the graphics and it was like these two guys that were dressed like drawn as cartoons, but it was clearly AI. I was like, wow, this like company is using AI for their marketing. And that's the thing is like it's going to be to the point where we can kind of at one point we're going to tell, and some points it's hard to tell, but always going to be like, is this AI? Is this going to be AI thing? And yeah, it's slippery slope for sure.
Well, it's like and this will actually be this is a segue from Kyle's Trials, is that we're working on doing a retro ZM website. And for the main logo, we wanted to take Kyle's picture where he's eating pizza and put it as a cartoon. And so I actually used AI and had it do it. And now there's a little placeholder on the website, but my daughter hasn't. She's going to draw it. So she's going to
See,
take what AI
yeah,
generated right now, but we haven't published the website. It's just there's like a placeholder. And I think it's just
right.
like theretrozm.com is the website for anybody who wants to. Like there's going to be a lot of cool games and stuff just that'll be sold with stories behind them. So there's going to be like a little review history plus you can buy.
That's cool.
And it's the stuff that I'm not personally going to hold on to that I did a podcast with them on or something like I'm going to be keeping a lot of stuff. But right now, if you go to theretrozm.com, there's a picture there, and that was generated, and it looks great. It looks perfect. It even has his Blade Runner hat, and he had a VGBS podcast shirt. It says podcast on it. It's like perfect. But I still want my daughter to draw it. And so she's going to take that image and do it in her own style. And she does digital graphic work that looks as good, if not better than what was generated. The problem
Yeah.
is it takes 15 seconds to generate that image.
Yeah.
And so, like, based on time, effort, laziness, lack of talent on people, they're going to be cookie cutter copy pasting stuff.
Yeah.
What's interesting though is pivoting that back to video game design. There are certain processing uh, settings and things as you are programming games in Unity. When you start cookie cuttering it, every game is going to feel the same.
Yeah.
And am I going to sit there and painstakingly go through and modify the settings exactly to what I want? Or am I just going to use general industry standard settings that the AI is going to generate that just make the game feel good? And,
Mm.
it's going to feel great, but they're all going to feel the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you lose your uniqueness, what makes every game feel different. And then, so those that take the time,
Mm.
they're either going to stand out or they're going to get criticized from people because it doesn't feel like the industry standard. Like
Yeah.
you're literally going to see like interesting things because the whole um the whole culture is going to change with AI. So
Yeah.
I like I said, I'm not for it with art, but I could see the usage of it to start the brain wickets going as well as mundane processes. So like
Mm.
for example, search engine optimization on YouTube videos and marketing and all that shit.
Yeah.
Let AI do that crap because there's
Yeah.
companies that will literally want to charge you hundreds of dollars. And they did this for my game company back in the day. Oh yeah, we'll market you, we'll get you out with PR, all that shit. I bet AI could do better because they're literally going through Rolodexes and going through tried and true processes that are older and it never worked out versus letting an AI processor do that kind of stuff. Because there's not really anybody that can help out smaller businesses, companies, smaller indie developers to
Yeah.
market PR and like I'd be like, all right, AI, look at my Steam page and give me better search engine optimization for my
Yeah.
game that I'm releasing. And it goes boom and gives you a bunch of stuff to do to your page. I
Well, I
mean,
mean,
that's great.
I use it to edit the podcast because when we talk about games, I'm like adding timestamps for the B-roll when I go edit. And
Yeah,
like when we start Zoom, the well, sometimes we start early before we start recording. And so, the timestamps are a little off because it's not the same time. So I can go on Chat GBT and be like, okay, well this we started recording. This is like an hour and a half recording, but we started recording the show 15 minutes in. Can you update all these timestamps? And they update all of them. So I mean,
nice.
that's great for an AI tool. And I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I'm kind of excited because I feel like this is going to push more creative people to do more creative things.
Yeah,
Like you're going to have to stand out more because people have more access to it. It's kind of like if everyone played guitar, you're going to have to be the Jimi Hendrix out of all the other people playing power chords. Like you're going to have to do something. So I think it's kind of it sucks because like you're gonna have a lot of cookie cutting stuff, but at the same time I feel like this is gonna push those developers that we try to highlight every week. It's gonna push them to really do something cool. So it could be a
yeah.
blessing in disguise, silver lining.
It's gonna be tough too for them to all like stand out and then let people know that it stands out. Perfect
Yeah,
parallel is perler beads and people that do perler bead stuff. And then when I started doing my wooden art, like people would walk by it and think it was perler beads, and it's like, no,
yeah,
man. And then they touch it and holy shit, this is a tactile thing. And
hmm
so like it's one of those things when everybody thinks something is one thing, they're going to assume it is two, and then you got to really market and push out and stand out differently. So then they'll use AI to do that, and then it'll
oh
be a
yeah.
while.
I
And
mean, could
I was to say, speaking of the wooden stuff, like my
oh yeah,
collab did go live with Thriller Crew, and it is up. The canvas sold out immediately, which is
yeah. I was about
crazy.
to say it sold out quick.
And I think talking to Tack, like there's like one or two sets that are selling a day, but there's only like nine total. So it's gonna be gone here in like a day. It's been a slow roll, but everybody's been buying it. They've been buying all four. And I want to say that maybe there's like three left of the set. And I think maybe one person or pot one of the other characters. So there's probably only a couple sets left of the entire Thriller Crew. And once it's gone, it's gone. I made 10. I'm not making more of these. So it's a wild thing. Like it's a
Yeah.
freaking dope thing. Um so you were saying something mid-sentence.
Oh, I was just saying that because you're talking about like with the going back to the AI before we move on, because
Yeah.
that's what I look for in music now when I'm listening to music, because I can tell now if I hear something I'm like, that's kind of AI. Even the lyrics, like I'll listen to something I'm like, is this AI? Because I've seen a lot of bands come out. I saw this like power metal band on Instagram and they were performing. And I'm like, it sounds like they got some assistance from AI. Like something doesn't sound right. So, yeah. A lot of people are going to be very skeptical on everything.
Well, I mean, the other side is that people for years have been using boomerangs and stuff to play with their music and
Hmm.
using drum machines. That was the classic in metal was, do you actually have a drummer that can play double
Yeah.
bass drum, or is it actually just a drum machine going like,
Yeah.
and that was the classic. And my nephew could do double bass with his feet, so that was always the impressive thing when we would play is that he could play
Hmm.
legit, and it's wild. We do have one more little topic, and I don't know if you even saw it. It's Valve's new code name, the Fremont device.
Yeah. What is this?
So, Valve is releasing a console,
Oh, like an
and
actual, like not a handheld,
like
like a
like
console.
a console to compete with Sony and Nintendo. You notice I didn't say Microsoft, with Sony and Nintendo.
Wow.
And so the codename Fremont device is 2 to 3 times more powerful than the Steam Deck OLED, not the currency, but Steam Deck OLED. And so that thing should be able to compete with the PS5 and PS5 Pro, and
Oh, wow.
obviously the Switch too. So it should be the mini PC that Xander's been looking for.
Yeah.
Like reality is this might be it because the Steam Deck is programmed in Linux, so they can easily do a wrapper into the actual set top, give it a consoleized experience like the Steam Deck has already. This just
Hmm.
doesn't have the portable aspect to it. My question to you though is it as interesting as a only a big screen non-handheld device when in reality I got my Steam Deck and I can literally play it on the go?
Yeah, I feel like the Steam Deck has a little bit more oomph to it with that portability. Because I mean, like don't get me wrong, like a Steam console sounds great, but I mean, like you can kind of already have that if you have like a decent mini PC, and now you can put in the Steam OS. So
Or you use this and you literally put it on the big screen TV,
TV,
which
yeah.
with a dock. So you already can do that with the Steam Deck. It's just now you have the Fremont here. It's probably gonna have a really cool name, of course.
Hmm.
Steam Box is probably what I'll call it or something. But it doesn't have the portability. So like right now, I like the idea when I'm playing a game, I can sit there and play it on my big screen. Or if I want to be right with this, I could have music going right here and just play the deck sitting there. And I actually did that with a game I played this week where I didn't play it on the big screen. I literally just played while I was listening to music.
I wonder if it's going to be cheaper. That's the question.
That's the question. What is the price point? Because if the price
Mm,
point is like $500 or less, then I'm more interested because
hmm.
I I definitely have my Steam Deck packed with indie games right now, and I
Yeah.
don't have room for anything bigger. And I literally have, thousands of Steam games, and a lot of them are like AAA titles that I play on the Legion Go right now, but they might play better without all the Windows bloat that caused my shit to reboot. So,
Yeah.
like, I could play Grand Theft Auto 5 Enhanced on Steam Deck 2, whatever they call
Hmm.
it. Or not Deck, but Steam Fremont device thing. Um, so it would be interesting if it was cheaper. That might actually replace my Legion Go as my gaming box, and then I just because the Legion Go I use for projects too, which is nice.
Yeah.
and I can do the projects on the go, which is really good. It's mainly for my InDesign and doing books. It just can play games.
Yeah.
So in reality, Legion Go is not meant for me to play games. It's more of an affordable version of a nice PC. But yeah, so I'm on the fence. I think you're right though. Price point.
Yeah, because I feel like if it's like something affordable, because the main thing is to grab non-Steam players into that ecosystem. And that's the thing, man. Like a lot of these like console purists, like when they dive into Steam, they see some of those discounts and all these indie games. They're like, oh, this is kind of cool, you know. So I'm all for it. I think it's a great another way for Steam to kind of help get some exposure to indie developers. So I'm all for it.
Well, and it goes to that. I bought the Switch too, not just because I'm a Nintendo fanboy, because that it does exist still in some capacity, but because I had the whole backlog of Switch games that play better now, thank goodness, on Switch 2 from Switch 1. And that's the same thing with this, is like I have the whole library of games that I
Yeah.
already own. So, because I own all these games. And it also, like, if it's just like the deck and you can mod it, you can then put all of the retro stuff on there with emulators. So there's emulation opportunities. Even though I prefer FPGA with the analog, I would rather I would rather play more modern stuff on like a more modern console, because I play all
Yeah.
the retro FPGA stuff. But like the disc-based systems, like that might be fun to do. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right, well, get into some of the randomizer. We had a randomizer last week.
Oh,
Did you
we
play it?
did. I did play it. Did you?
I did. I played a little bit of it, which is kind of goes with the impressions because it is a game that you can pick up and play and put down and pick up and play again. Uh,
Yeah.
Talking about Space Grunts.
Space Grunts. Yeah, I have to look it up again because it was like the first thing that I played after we recorded, and because I wanted to make sure that I gave it a whirl. But the thing is that was interesting about Space Grunts is that it goes like almost room to room
Hmm.
and then like floor to floor. And I don't know if I got like two or three floors in and then ended up not feeling the progression, but then I had like crazy little, I don't know, I just felt like I was always running out of weapons and then I barely
Hmm.
got some more weapons to fight the enemies.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of weapons to begin with. There's not a whole lot of stuff on your
Yeah.
arsenal, but I thought it was very interesting because I wasn't expecting it to be like a grid-based turn-based game. I wasn't expecting the grid style.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, but I like some of those games. I thought for being a roguelike, I thought it would be an interesting one to maybe introduce someone to the genre to roguelike. I liked it. I mean, I found out that it was also released on the Atari VCS. I found that out too. That's
Oh,
interesting.
that old chestnut that disappeared off the face of the earth
Yeah.
after nobody really bought it. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that was one where when everybody was talking about the Amico and stuff like that
Hmm.
and wanting the Amico to come out, I'm like, well, what about the Atari VCS? That did come out and everybody dropped it
Yeah.
because the games were not as interesting. And I mean, that's the problem with having a Steam Deck and the Steam infrastructures. If you don't support that whole construct, like your system, you're not Nintendo right now anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
Atari's Atari, but like again, like that's the generation far removed that currently is collecting and playing video games
Hmm.
as a I don't know it, like as a generation, basically. That
Oh yeah.
generation isn't really, there's few and far between. There are people that do it, but it's not like it's still the 8-bit Nintendo generation is still going strong for now until
Yeah.
we all stop. Until we get the arthritis in our fingers and can't plan it.
I was like,
It's coming,
I was like,
coming.
us 8-bit gamers. We're just a couple years away from getting that senior coffee. I'm here for it.
Uh-huh.
But no,
Hey,
going
I
back
don't know
to
what you're talking about, senior cop.
but yeah, going back to Space Grunts, I thought it was a fun
Yeah.
game. There are some sequels. I do want to check out the sequels because maybe they pushed them more because this is an older game too, so maybe it's a little
Yeah.
bit better.
That's the funny thing is playing a game for the first time and it's like 9 years old. And I remember back like because I've been in the army now for like 20 years. And I remember when I first started, I used to, and before I joined the army, I used to read Retro Gamer magazine. And a lot of the games that were retro were 10 years old that they were talking about in Retro Gamer or newer than 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like those are retro games now. And it's like this game right here is that same threshold removed to 2025 because it was released in 2016. So it's
Yeah,
like almost 10 years old at this point. You said that there's multiple games, or is it just like one of them?
I think there's a sequel because I was on
There's
YouTube
definitely a sequel.
and I saw a video about a third one, but I don't think it ever came out.
You know what's interesting though is I do know that Heroes of Loot 1 and 2 were on the docket for premium to sign back when I still owned the company. And Heroes of Loot was
Oh.
made by the same developers. Interesting. 1 and 2. I see there's also a Gauntlet of Power on the collection, which that's newer. But like, yeah, Heroes of Loot 1 and 2, which are from like 2016 as well. We were in the talks. Not Space Ground stuff for some reason. I don't know why.
Mm.
They also did Gunslugs too. And then, of
Yeah.
course, which I own, Ash World, which looks like Ash from Army of Darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, that game looks pretty cool.
So,
I feel like I've
um,
played one of these games. We'll go back down to it. Look like a running gun. Yeah, the Meganoid. I feel like I've played that before. Maybe I played
oh,
that on
and
Switch.
well, and Meganoid is a dollar game.
Huh.
So that is, we don't have a lot of budget this week. So there you go.
That's
So there's the game Meganoid that is $1 right now. It's on sale from 10. It's a dollar game, and I will add it to my wish list so I could buy it. Because
same here.
when I find a little treat, whether I own it on Switch or not. The other thing is, before I forget, there's a huge sale right now on Switch. I went to the Switch eShop on my Switch too. There's a lot of games under $2 right now, like a lot of games in my wish list, and
Oh
you can
wow.
actually click a new button on the Switch shop when you go to your wish list that says only games on sale and it only shows the sale games. It's really fast.
Mm.
So they added that within the last time since I've been on the eShop. But there's a big Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch like sale going on. So I'm gonna have to go on the Switch here after we record and see if there's anything worth buying for my wish list. Because I also, if I already own it on Steam, I don't feel like I need to get it digitally on Switch because I'm getting Switch physicals. So,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's this. But if it's like it's still under $2, like if it's something that I don't own on Steam, it's not on sale on Steam, but it's on sale on Switch. Maybe I'll jump over. I have to like do a little one-to-one research. I'll have to have my PC open and Switch, and
Oh
luckily
yeah.
Switch is portable, so I can have it right here. But geez,
Gotta
man,
check that out.
crazy.
Now
Yeah. So
you
so Space Grunts was pretty fun.
yeah.
I don't think I'll be going back to it anytime soon. I didn't add it to my
Mm.
backlog, but it was cool.
Yeah, not bad. And we'll check out another randomizer before we end the show because
Yeah.
we still got a lot to talk about because
At
you
the end of the episode.
yeah, because you've been playing some games this week. We haven't even gotten into that yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing is like, so we had talked about, oh, we had talked about a subject
Mhm.
last week, and then I mentioned that the same developer had a game. And do you remember what we were talking about? Like, what was the subject? It was like we had all of these games by newer or like these
It was
legendary
tribute.
developer. Yeah, and like it was like tribute games. But what was the game that we were talking about with tribute last?
Uh, it
It was
was
last week?
it was the wizard game that was like kind of like the
a Wizorb that was on
Yeah.
sale. It's no longer on sale either. And then I was like, oh yeah, and there's another game in here that's on sale, and it's Ninja Senkai DX. And
Mm.
it's $5 now, but it was on sale. And so I ended up actually playing that after I played some Space Grunts. And it's super simple. Like it's worth a buck. $5, I would say no. Uh
Mm.
all the enemies are very samey, and like you get like a new enemy every like couple levels or something. The graphics are, 8-bit Nintendo, which is cool. But the platforming is just like it's just in the pocket. It's good. You can shoot out tons of stars, which is
I
great.
like
But
that.
if all we had was a Nintendo, this game would be amazing. That's the thing. So like the
Mm.
fact that we're spoiled now with freaking amazing stuff out there that just like takes and modernizes this game, harkens it all the way back with limitations. And it's fun. I that's why I say it's like worth a buck, because there's no like I didn't see any complexity to it. I didn't even really remember. Maybe there is later, but I don't remember fighting a boss or anything.
Mm.
So like you gotta have something in there. It's like, even Mario Brothers 1 had bosses, and that was from 86. So
Yeah.
85, 85, 86. But yeah.
Something to let the player know they're doing something
Yeah.
like progressively. Yeah.
Yeah, it lends it to me to feel like something that was released on like a mobile at first, and it's again another 2016 game. So
Mm.
it feels like something that was like programmed with to be cross compatible with mobile devices. So it's super freaking simple and didn't really have the complexity I wanted, I guess.
Yeah.
But
For
but
a
like it
buck.
was, but for $1 or whatever it was, it's well worth it. It's $5 regularly, so wait for a sale and pick it up because it's cool, and it's made by Tribute, who also has done these amazing games themselves. So it's like the potential is there. It's just this must have just been a little side project that they did for fun, and you know, because it wasn't their first game, that's for sure.
And you beat a game this week too.
Yeah, so I had been slowly playing Minishoot Adventures that I had talked about a couple episodes ago, and actually was playing it the previous weeks. I would just sit down here. I think I ended up putting in over 20 hours into Minishoot
Oh
Adventures.
wow.
Yeah. And so I was one day after work, I just came down here. I'm like, I'm gonna finish it. And I had at the point, because like I think I had two maybe skulls a couple weeks ago. Because you get the skull keys to unlock the final gate. And I think I had two, and I got the third one the next week. Well, I ended up having the fourth key, and then I was like almost fully powered up for the shot power. So I just let I had unlocked the gate and all this stuff. And then basically I didn't go to the end boss, and I grinded up a little bit so I could have the power, the full power. Um,
Oh.
and so I went in there and I beat the end boss and everything and got the credits to roll. Now there's after credit stuff. There's
Mm.
still a lot more to do, but I once I roll the credits on something, like I'm good. I don't need to be a completionist anymore, which is
Yeah.
good. Because apparently there's one type of puzzle that I never finished. I only did a couple of them where you have to like race versus another character, and if you beat the character you get like an item or something. Well,
Mm.
there is a ability locked behind beating all those, and
Mm.
it allows you to warp through bullets. And so
Oh wow.
and there is a corridor that allows you to warp through bullets to get all the way up, and you can't get up to the top of the corridor unless you have that ability. So if I went through and did all those races and did the ability, there is a true final boss at the end of that.
Ah.
And after the true final boss, then it unlocks an arena mode where you do tons and tons of arenas and fight all the bosses again that are harder. And then you get the true final like credits and ending. And it's literally just some text and stuff and some good lore for the game. But to me, just beating the game was awesome. It's fun as hell. The game itself it needs like a physical preservation on like Switch. I don't even think it's been ported. But
Yeah.
it needs physical preservation because the game was fun as shit. It's literally Legend of Zelda meets a shoot 'em up, like a bullet hell
Yeah,
style.
it looks so good. Like I remember because we've went back to this game a couple episodes ago, and every time I put in the B-roll, I'm always like, man, this game looks so cool.
And the
Such a different
controls are perfect.
concept.
The controls are perfect. That's the thing, is that you can literally avoid all the bullets perfectly. They go at the right speed to where it doesn't get overwhelming. And then if there's a ton of bullets on screen, you can slow down your ship movement so you can weave a little, which I
Hmm.
didn't have to do a whole lot actually. And then you have the like zooming aspects and you have multiple hearts. So when you get multiple hearts and multiple power-ups and all the power-ups work together and you can hold down a button to shoot a more powerful shot and you can continue to level up your character the way you want to and make yourself more powerful so you can take out the little enemies very fast. Like it's just very satisfying. All
Yeah.
the neurons were firing with this game. Badass. One of the best ones I've played all year.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. And we both played a certain game this week because I saw it in the docket, and I'm like, oh, I've been playing this too.
Yeah.
This is from a previous episode, but Garbanzo Quest, which I believe when we had it on the episode, I believe it was on sale at the time because I remember I got it like dirt cheap. I don't know how much it's going for now.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is that at Garbanzo Quest, I had a code because we were going to sign it for premium. And so I had like the beta or alpha or whatever version that I liked. Well, the fact that it's fully released, I was like, well, let me fire it up. And it's addicting as shit. Like it is,
Oh,
and
so
it's
good.
weird because it's a platform, but you spit. Like you
Yeah.
shoot like air, you spit air out of your to go through it. But it's like doing that satisfying because you can spit up, down, left, and right, and you can avoid enemies. The jumping, the gravity, everything is like perfectly done. And then you go through, and there's unlockables in every level, and you can
Hmm.
unlock an item which can get you more power-ups and more abilities, and you can unlock different levels. So you can unlock secrets. One of the secrets that I found was like a quiz and like asked me and you gotta like shoot the quiz box
Yeah.
and do the quiz, and I jacked up the first time. I had to redo it. And then you got end boss at the end of the world, and now I went to the end of the world and the end boss says, hey, do you want to fight me? I'm like, no. You can choose
Yeah.
yes or no. He's like, really? You don't want to? I'm like, no. And they kicked me out and put me back to the put me back to the overworld. And then so I went back and I had to replay the whole level. And I went back and said, oh, so you're back, and they just fight you.
I was about to say that's the game has such a quirky way of writing, and I love it because like the first boss, like he was giving me a little bit of trouble at first, but I
Really?
honestly I did yeah, I don't know what was going on with me. But the funny thing was is like every time I died, he had like the boss had like a new thing to say, and after a while it was just like I came back after like my third death or whatever. I came back and he was like, this is getting kind of weird. You just keep coming back. I think you enjoy this. So the game is really fun. I do like the unlockables, and you can like give the little garbanzo bean. You can give him like different hats, and I even unlocked like a puppy. I was playing as like the dog at one point, and yeah, it was one of those games that I got cheap during one of our episodes, and I'm like, wow, this is good and polished. And looking at the game, it's not on sale currently, but it is a $20 game. So yeah,
That's an expensive one right now, but it's fun as shit. So
so good.
either I'm pretty sure, well, no, I'm not pretty sure. It is ported or being ported to Switch. So let's hope that either premium with the new owners or somebody picks this up for physical preservation because I will 100% be a
Oh
day one
yeah.
buyer on it. 100%. Because like it's fun as hell. And the developer is really cool. Like he is a funny dude. So it tracks.
Yeah.
Like it completely track. I can't remember like if it was I if I'm remembering right, actually, Too Many Games is where we met this developer. Too Many
Uh
Games.
yeah,
Yeah.
his sense of humor is funny because like I said, like you get done with the boss and okay, now we're friends because you have the hub world because every boss you become friends with and they go to your hub world and they unlock different abilities and different paths for this little bean to go through. So yeah, it's if anything, I like a game that's addictive, but also has that sort of writing that makes you want to keep playing because you want to see that sense of humor. So,
Well, yeah, and the hub world kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you played Carl back in the day,
mm-mm.
a year or two ago. That's made by Nintendo,
We
and
did
that
we,
is one.
we
That
did
is one
mention
that
it.
premium, yeah, that's one that premium did sign, but it has a little hub world, and he like expanded out the humor of the hub world to give it a little more depth. Now, the customization in Garbanzo Quest like just takes it to another level. Like it is so polished. And so, like, I'm gonna probably it's in my near term backlog. I'm probably gonna go back and continue to play it just because it's just fun to sit down. I was like playing it while I was grilling out on the right here on the porch. Like I was just playing levels, and I
Yep.
was waiting for some chicken to grill. Like it was fun as hell. Like, dude, yeah, it was that one 100% recommend for probably for both of us actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I can. I'm definitely probably going to be streaming it in the future. That's a good streaming game. It's like, yeah, it's good. But going into the new and noteworthy. Man, we got a lot of good games to talk about. I was capturing some of the B-roll and I was like, "Oh man, so many wish list," which is great because the by the way, the Steam fall sale
Oh my
starts
God.
it starts on September 29th to
So many
October
games.
6th. Yep,
So many
so
games. Holy shit. Like we just got past the summer one where I got like 20 games and it's like this is the gift that keeps on giving for masochists who want giant backlogs, apparently.
But yeah, this the first game we want to talk about is Relic Hunter's Legend. Man, this one right here really perked up my interest. It's got, the four-player co-op, top-down, looter RPG. Um, it's really it looks like a lot of fun.
Well, and if we both get this game, it has four-player co-op.
Hmm.
It has online co-op. So you and I could technically stream this together.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'd
I
play
think
that.
I think we should try. Maybe we make this our online one. If you can play up to four players, maybe we grab some of the Patreons with us and offer it up.
I know my last stream, Launchbox, he was on the stream and he was like, "Man, I want to play some games with you guys." So, definitely had to get him to jump on.
So Relic Hunter's Legend might be the one that we jump to. The only thing is it's $20, so we both gotta maybe wait for a sale. But there's a demo, but I don't know if the demo supports the online portion.
Yeah.
But hundreds of hours, 100 hours is what it says. So there's plenty in here for us to stream and have fun with, as long as it plays fun.
You know what? I mean, and at least play the demo because
Yeah.
it may not vibe with us. So there's always that. Play the demo, and if we both like it, be like, yeah, we need to go online with this.
Because we can never ever get a nighttime recording going. We always have like end up recording in the mornings, but like maybe we could do some online gaming on a night and that'll be like a little fun thing.
Oh
Like on a
yeah.
weekend. A weekend after you get out of work and I'm hopefully not drunk.
Which, by the way, speaking of drinking, you should probably have this with some tequila. It's the Seven Up Tropical. The,
Tropical.
the Tropical Seven Up. It's really good. I'm like, oh, that'd be really nice. Also, what's really nice is this game. It's so
Well,
nice that we.
before we jump over, we didn't go
Oh,
down the rabbit hole because Rogue
oh,
Snail has another game that was just released called Hell Clock, and holy shit.
oh. Let me check out Hell Clock.
Oh my God, it looks good. Like, and it's on sale for 16
Oh,
bucks.
oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen this game and I've been kind of like curious about it. I didn't know it was the same people. That's
The
cool.
same developer, Rogue Snail, that did Relic Hunters, and they released them within less than a month of each other.
Wow, and they're polar opposites. Because I'm actually going to throw some of the B-roll in there. Hellclock's more gritty, kind of almost like Hades style. Like it looks really
Yeah.
cool.
Well, and their third game that they have, Star Vikings Forever, it looks like something I would never play because it's like a freaking cell phone looking game, little puzzle game. It's like it looks like Plants versus Zombies or something,
Hmm.
and not something I would play. Hell Clock looks freaking amazing. Like and it's on sale for 20% off right now. Like I just saw it and it's like, oh, there's a double sale, which is why I clicked it over before we got to the next game. And I'm like, holy shit, that clock looks awesome.
Yeah, it's got lots of blood. It looks like it has a skill tree of constellation, like a star constellation. That's your skill tree, and yeah, like I said, it has a very like Hades kind of feel to it. Not exactly like with art style, but kind of aesthetically, just has that real
Yeah.
grittiness. Looks cool.
And now the next game, you'll know why I wrote in there, is this not indie? Because this goes into our conversation talking about Bakaru. So Bakaru was published by Namco.
Mm.
This game is published by Deep Silver. I don't know if you know the company Deep Silver.
Oh yeah.
So like I mean, they did. Deep Silver has had a murky freaking past, but they do Warhammer games. They do Dead Island, Saints Row,
Hmm.
Hot Wheels. And so this game, like I never heard of it, but then it is published by a big publisher.
Yeah.
And it's the only game that this developer has done. So it's called Echoes of the End.
Which looks
Is
cool. Which looks cool, by the way. It looks very Skyrim-ish. You know, like when I was watching the fighting, it kind of made me think of like when you put Skyrim in third person view. Um,
Yeah.
it looks a lot like that, which is not a bad thing 'cause I like Skyrim. I mean, I went back and visited that a couple years, like last year, and fell back in love with it. So I think it looks cool. I mean, it definitely like when you think of indie games, you're not thinking of a game that looks like this. I mean,
No. And it's $40. It's normal price for, like a faux modern game on digital. But like the graphics, I mean, there's cutscenes that look, they look great. And then the actual graphics in it look like, PS3, PS4 style.
hmm
So it's very, very interesting. Very interesting. But it's like, yeah, this game looks insane. It's a giant action, like you said, Skyrim style action RPG game. Definitely something that looks like a game that I would like for sure. Also looks like to me something that would be on like a humble choice later, humble bundle choice or something,
that's a
or
good point.
or Game Pass.
Hmm.
Like, but yeah, it's just, I mean, it looks like you have like abilities to create platforms. And I mean, even you have a giant crab enemy like you would in
Yeah.
like in Elden Ring, like the crab enemies. So it's very interesting. I don't know, man. What do you think?
I mean, I think it looks good. I'd probably wait for a sale because it looks good. I want to know how the playability is. Like, I want to know if it's janky. That's the question. Is it a
Well,
janky game?
and the reviews are mixed on it. And my other problem is that if it's modern, I'm gonna play stuff that's in the backlog that I haven't touched that are like triple A's. Because there's a
Yeah.
ton that I haven't
Yeah.
touched.
That's true.
So yeah, man.
Now, I actually played this game a little bit.
The
Um,
this one or the next
yeah.
game?
Uh, Gundroid.
Oh, the next game. You said you played this game. We were still talking
Oh,
about
oh
Echo.
no, 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 no. I was segueing. But yeah, Gundroid.
Yeah.
I only played a little bit of it
This
because
is the opposite of the last one. This one's NES style Contra.
oh yeah. It Journey of Silius. That's what it makes me think of.
This game makes it
Um
feel like Journey to Silius. Does it have like the ship portion too?
well, it's got the I feel like it's more of the way the guy moves. He moves very similar. Um did you ever play Biolab Wars?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It plays very similar to Biolab Wars if I'm going to compare it to something more current.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, because
it's good.
Biolab Wars was always historically on sale on the Nintendo Switch eShop, which is why I used to always see it. I finally did play it. Now the thing is this one looks like it's more Contra Probotector style because it's
Mhm.
robots, but it looks more Contra style than Biolab. Like,
Yeah.
how does it feel?
Well, that's the interesting thing is it feels like Biolab Wars, but plays like Contra. Like it's got the fast action of Contra, but your movability is like Journey of Silius.
Interesting.
It's really interesting. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't play too much of it, but I saw it was like $10. And it was just one of those like Steam buys I did a couple of weeks ago. I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, I'll eventually talk about it on Indie Credibles, you know. But yeah, it's a good game.
Wild. Yeah, it's 100% a run and gun. You even get to like fly on a little missile at one point. Like, and then you're on a motorcycle on another spot, and it just looks like awesome to me, and
Hmm.
might be one of the better games released this year that takes this inspiration from Contra. Even like the bosses, like there's like the very first boss in Contra that you fight. There's like a boss where you're fighting tears and shooting guns and stuff. So
Yeah.
they definitely take inspiration from all the classics, and I mean they talk about it too. So. Um, but it does say at the very end, which I don't know if you noticed, it says, fuel your fight with the bespoke metal soundtrack.
Oh.
So
Oh.
thrashing guitars and pulsing drums propel you forward through enemy forces. This is the genre as it was always meant to be heard. So bespoke. So this is a custom metal soundtrack for this game.
That's so cool. That
Yeah,
is
like
really cool.
I haven't played it, so you definitely got to like play up one of the metal songs.
Yeah.
So,
I I I can't really remember the music too much off the top of my head. 'Cause
yeah, but
I think
bespoke.
that's cool though.
They sell the soundtrack separately here on Steam as well. So if it's that good, oh yeah, I definitely need to play it though. It's got to be one that's got to be in my backlog for sure. Gun Droid.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Also, the next game is
Oh,
like it's even cooler. Like this game, like
even cooler.
even cooler. This game right here, Metal Suits. Um,
Yeah.
you know, one of the first things I noticed when I saw the cover art is the characters are like low pixeled, like on the art. I just
Like
noticed.
Derpy.
Yeah, I
Like
just noticed
Derpy.
that. But the game itself is like super colorful. It's a high
Yeah.
speed platformer. I mean, this is like grab your pants, you're cooking with gas. Yeah. It's
Grab your pants. You're cooking with me. Oh, it's like so if Gundroid is a tribute to NES style Contra, this one takes all the modern amenities, has tons and tons of explosions, multiple characters, almost like Wonderful 101 with all the little characters that you get.
Mhm.
And I mean, there's a guitar playing character that you get to fight with. But then, like, even the enemies, though, like some of the stuff has a little bit of the 2D polygonal specs.
Mhm.
Like I'm looking at certain like screenshots, or if you like pause some of the video and things, like there's like the missiles are almost like 3D
Yeah.
looking.
It's got that
And
cool
so
2.5 look to it.
yeah.
I love that.
And so is definitely more of a modern Metal Slug style, Metal Suits, Metal Slug style game. So taking a lot of inspirations. This one has all mostly positive, not all positive, mostly positive. It just looks crazy. And it's got a lot of humor to it as well, apparently.
And it's also another 9.99 game, just like a Gundroid. So you got like a 20 in your pocket and you want two really good run and gun games. I think these would be really good.
Well, in this one, you have 9 planets, 5 moons, and 10 chapters. So there's tons
Whew.
of levels in this game. Is it like completely run and gun, or is there some roguelike in it? Because it just says 2D platformer, action side scroller platformer. Is it
Yeah.
classic? If it's classic, I'm more interested than having to do a roguelike style like grind. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
No, I definitely agree with that. I like my stage-based games. I like games I can just play a stage and go back to bed.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what you did with Ninja Gaiden, right?
Yeah, that's what I was doing
Stage
with
round.
that. And I was talking about earlier about how I was really wanting to play a 3D platformer.
And I
So I was
found it
playing.
for you.
I know I was playing Bakaru, and I was like, man, this is fun. But then I watched this, and I'm like, holy crap! And this is what is this? Toree Saturn?
Yeah, Toree Saturn. So, interestingly, there's a bunch of Torii games, and I know that this was on the docket for premium at one point, but the original Torii games were very like small bite-sized little platformers, and they were cool. There's like Torii 1, Torii 2, and then there was like another game. And there's like you go through almost like Monkey Ball, but as a platformer to get to the goal,
Hmm.
and they were really really fun to play, but they were tiny. It ended up being released on the platformer collection on Switch physically with a bunch of other games. Like there was like a four game pack, I think, and Tori 1 and 2. Well, Tori Saturn looks like the final boss, like the epitome of it, and makes it look like a Saturn style 3D game.
Yeah, it looks really cool. And I was looking at the art style and I'm like, man, this looks familiar. And it's because I played one of their games years ago, the Super Kiwi 64.
Okay.
And I got it on the Switch, and it's a super bite-sized 3D platformer, a very reminiscent of like Banjo-Kazooie. It's like a 2.99 game, but it was a lot of fun. I streamed that, and that was one of those games I streamed and beat, and I had a lot of fun. So yeah, I gotta check this out. Plus, it's got that Sega Saturn kind of feel to it. I like that.
Well, and the first two Tory games are $1 a piece, so they're absolutely here in the budget version. So they might as well pick up the other two because they're fun. Tory Saturn is $5. So
Hmm.
and then um and then there's Tory's Panic as well. Tori's Panic Pack, three tiny Tori games. So I have not heard of that one, but there's a bunch of games here, and I'm adding them all to my wish list too, so that way I'll go through. But and then there's MacBat 64 and Beanie. Beanie's also $1. MacBat 64 is also is another one. So they like to do their 3D poly platformers, and Tori Saturn is like completely stylized neon style awesomeness.
Yeah, it feels like Toree Saturn is what they worked their way up to. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. But if you don't want to spend the $5 and you want to get an intro, you can get five other games for $5 too that they've
Yeah.
done, and then wait for this one to come on sale, or then you love them and buy it.
Oh yeah, because yeah, Super Kiwi 64 is it's a great game. I had so much fun. It was a micro game, kind of like Froggo. I enjoyed Froggo a lot for those same reasons.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really really cool.
And I go in complete polar opposite from a bird from a bird running around to just I would say this is almost like a Neo Geo brawler. Fallen City Brawl.
Yeah. Yeah, this
This game.
definitely reminds me of the arcade 90s arcades. Like 100%. Like crazy. And it just reminds me of like you would have back in the day, you would have your Final Fights and Streets of Rage, and then you'd have your other games that would release for the consoles and be like, what the hell is this? And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you got a crazy character with a giant wrench, or like they just it's like over the top action.
I love the quick panning, like zoom in, and you see the detail of like the giant pixels, like kind of like Art of Fighting, because
So good.
that was such a big deal back then. Like, oh man, look how big the pixels are. Look how, So I do like that. It's let's see, it's got a demo, but it's a $15 game, which is not bad.
It's not
Not
bad.
bad.
And also, it should be noted that it is published by East Asia Soft Limited, who pick up
Mm.
indie developers. So the good thing is maybe we'll see it if it's not already ported, and then a physical for Switch or PlayStation. You
Oh,
might
for
be able to
sure.
see that because like East Asia Soft is really good about doing that type of thing. I'm hoping that they still pair and do the Play exclusives as well with Play Asia because I used to
Mhm.
love the big box Play exclusives, and I eventually they had too many and I stopped because they went to the visual novels, and I'm not a visual novel
Yeah.
person. But these type of games is the stuff that I would 100% buy physically in order to, especially 15 $20 games. Like I'll spend 40 to get it physically and then have it forever.
Oh yeah, I freaking love East Asia Soft. Like they pick up a lot of good developers that do like really cool bullet hells, and I
Yeah.
always like that.
Well, and we're not going to go super in depth because we got to play this game to be able to talk more about it. Like
Yeah.
it's a awesome looking beat 'em up. It looks like exactly what we want out of our a modern beat 'em up with homage to the originals.
Oh yeah. And this one,
Oh,
the last one of our new and
last one.
noteworthy
Yeah.
is called Off. Just
Off.
Off. Off. But I think it's worth noting as you see, as the viewers see the B-roll, and you put in parentheses Undertale vibes, which is definitely
Hmm.
something that someone will pick up when they start seeing the preview of this game. It's like, wow, it is very Undertale-esque. That's a word. But yeah.
Undertale-esque. Well, I mean, because like the overworld looks like the Game Boy vibes with the very low pixel, low
Mhm.
fidelity pixels, even lower than Undertale actually. But then it's the Undertale vibes that I get is from like all the interactions and the talking, and then it's like big white silhouettes that you would have out of Undertale. And so that's where it gives me the vibes of Undertale.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, it's a $15 game. I was trying to see if there was at least a demo, but there's not a demo, sadly.
It was just released a couple weeks ago at the time of this recording. I probably added to the list a few weeks ago. So it's overwhelmingly positive.
Mm,
1,400 reviews.
wow.
Um, and Fangamer is publishing it, which they have a penchant for picking very quality games, and they usually do a physical later with their stuff, whether it has one now or not. So Fangamer did pick it up. The developer Motors Ghost, again, an individual publisher or individual developer development company with only one game. So I'm not sure if it's a team or not, but it is 100% indie game. So this is wild to me. Is like you've had multiple East Asia Soft fan gamer putting their power behind these indie developers to get these games released, which is this game just looks cool as shit though.
It really does. I like the art style, and I haven't played Undertale, so there's not a whole lot of parallels I can draw from, but aesthetically I can definitely see it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's definitely that kind of vibe, which I like that. I like it.
Mhm. Well, and I thought I had added something to the budget section, but there's nothing in there. So, I mean,
There was one game.
yeah, I thought there
It's
was one.
it's called Curion. That's Qurion.
Yeah, because I was like, I know that a game popped up in my wish list that went on sale, and I was like, it is not in our list anymore. And it's $1 right now. So,
Yeah.
or no, I think the game was $1 and I found it.
Yeah, I saw it this morning when I was before I got the meeting ready and everything, and yeah, it's a 2D platformer. It's a Metroidvania where you explore and fight bosses, acquire items and abilities, and find secrets. Inspired by games such as You Have to Win the Game and VVVVVVV.
And so I don't know if you ever played VVVVV, but it was completely Atari style, ZX Spectrum style Metroidvania. And
Mm.
so this is a Metroidvania. It's a shorter game. And so I haven't played You Have to actually no, I did play You Have to Win the Game. Again, another one that's super retro. This one is like it takes that, but then adds depth of graphics to it to give it a cooler look. It looks good as shit. Like,
Yeah, it looks like look for a game that's like $1, man. It looks really really good. I like
mhm.
the color palette and the attention of detail with some of the lighting because some stages you're like in the cave and there's like a little bit of light silhouette coming off the character and stuff. Little touches that remind you that it's modern, but it is a retro style game. So that's really
Exactly.
cool.
Exactly. And it's like well worth $1 that it is online because it's $1 game now on sale. So it's a buck. So, but ironically, throughout this episode, we've had more than just this one game because we had all the ones from Toree and all that. And we had a few other games that were $1. So,
Oh yeah.
um, yeah, so you probably have a good half dozen, even though we only had one in the list. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
it's great. I wonder sometimes if we have listeners that because sometimes we list some of the games that I don't put the B-roll in, but so sometimes I wonder if they like hear those and they're like going through the rabbit hole at the same time, or we're going through the rabbit hole. Like I wonder if that happens.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it does.
Which is the fun part about when we record too, is we get to just enjoy the flow. I love doing that. And like I know when I listen to podcasts, I'm usually like out walking the dog or on a run or in the car driving. So there's not really a time for me to like research stuff usually. Sometimes I'll pause and all right, I gotta look up this damn game because I'm
Yeah.
listening to something crazy. And like that's why I like when we're doing it live because I'll literally be like, all right, wish list, wish list, wish list. Even when I'm adding stuff to the list, I don't go down to the wish list till we record because if it
Yeah.
doesn't look cool. If it doesn't look
Yeah.
cool, maybe I won't, but usually it ends up looking cool.
Oh yeah. And you know what else is really cool?
What's that, Xander?
What else is really cool is our executive producers on
Awesome.
Patreon. It's free to it's free to join the Patreon, but these are our exclusive producers, and we want to give them a big shout
Exclusive
out.
executives.
Exactly. And we're going to start first with Akaroth
And of course, David Isherwood.
and Lunchbox, aka the Disgruntled Gamer from Thunderdome Gaming Society.
And our guy, Jesse Glenn, who's been doing a lot of crazy messages recently.
And we got a new we got someone new that joined us. They joined us last week, but they're still new. It's
Oh, and he's probably one of the original supporters of the original. He's new, but he's been actually older than everyone else.
and that is Jacob Hinrichs. I butcher his last name. I do apologize.
Love it.
Uh is Henderson
I would say Henrichsen. Henrichsen.
Jacob
Yeah.
H.
And appreciate your support. And for those of you that want to join them, not only do you get a shout out, but there's actually physical items that we ship out every quarter that you get. And I am in the process of shipping out the Mortal Kombat ones. Promise that is literally a process, especially now that the collab is done. I'll be able to get to the items for that as well as, but you can just go to patreon.com/Hagen's Alley and you can get that. And before Xander does a sign off, he did forget that we got to do a
Oh, randomizer.
randomizer
Oh
for
yeah.
next week. But we are getting close to the voting time in the fall here. To what book do we want to do for the executive producer one of a kind, not one of a kind, but it'll be like one off for whatever book that we're going to do a wooden book cover for. And they get to vote for the book cover. So it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. All right. We have Foot Gun Underground. Yeah, Foot Gun Underground. It says all styles, about 9 hour game.
Hmm.
9 hour game, and that's the first thing that it gives me for Foot Gun Underground. Let's look it up. It is a $15 game roguelike with balls.
I already like the description.
Yeah, it looks freaking crazy. Holy shit. All right. This game is looks insane. It's a
Oh
two
wow.
2D action roguelike.
It's got very positive review too. Cool.
Yeah. So this is by Turtle Knight Games, released in 2024. Turtle Knight Games has also done the Edge of Allegoria that we had covered on this episode, which
Oh
is a
yeah.
turn-based RPG. And then they have Eo, Bunny.
We also covered that.
hmm There's a
Hmm.
ton of games that we've covered from this guy. So yeah, Edge of Allegoria came out in 2023. Or no, the demo did, but Foot Gun Underground came out April of 2024. Then Edge of Allegoria came out in December of 2024. So this was a mid-year for last year for the company. And it looks like they released a few games, and then they've been working on this next Bunny Tyranny game. Working on that.
It looks awesome. We'll definitely have to check it out for the next episode, as well as our listeners. We want to thank you guys so much for listening to another episode. And if you've played what is this, that foot gun underground, if you've played that, leave a comment below and As always, guys, happy gaming and support indie.
Yeah.